Everywhere you look these days on the internet, people are going on and on about how cute Baby Yoda is. Aw, look at those big cute eyes and those flopsy-wopsy ears. He's just about the cutest thing ever, right? Well, if you look closer into those giant eyes, you would see a soulless monster that wants nothing more than to devour everything that comes into its path until there's nothing left but screams and terror across the entire galaxy. Sorry about that. This educational video is being brought to you by the Galactic Imperial Disinformation Service, protecting the galaxy from rebel scum since 1977. The Star Wars galaxy is filled with all sorts of monstrous creatures. We have the Rancors, Sarlaccs, and Krayt Dragons of Tatooine, the terrifying Krykna spiders, and of course the disgusting sea monsters of Naboo. No, not those monsters. I'm talking about the Gungans. Ugh, Gungans. Of all the disgusting creatures that have ever crawled out of the bowels of the universe, one kind of monster reigns supreme as the most vile and deadly being that has ever been put on record. I am, of course, referring to the cult once known as the Jedi Order. These beings, who masqueraded as knights protecting the innocent with honor and dignity, were actually, according to our very accurate Imperial records, deadly warriors who brought chaos and destruction everywhere they went until our noble emperor obliterated them. Here we have very rare security footage of one of these warriors attacking a group of perfectly innocent minimum wage factory workers who were just doing their jobs and definitely not assembling an army of battle droids to take over the galaxy. Here we also have footage of a fledgling Jedi warrior obliterating a peaceful space station filled with millions of hardworking Imperials who had never heard a fly. These evil space wizards were capable of performing all sorts of natural powers. They were able to move things with their minds, super weird, manipulate perceptions of others, it's freaky really, and even fought with the blades of concentrated light that could cut through anything. Even without their powers though, they possessed incredible hand-to-hand combat skills that dwarfed anything any other being in the galaxy could hope to possess. They were frequently seen displaying their own perverse sense of justice by attacking innocent bar patrons, harmless bounty hunters, and noble Imperial soldiers. I know, these descriptions sound a lot like heroic figures such as Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. Well, unlike the Jedi, Vader and Kylo Ren are heroes. Kind of like, Homelander, the comedian, or Thanos. Perfectly normal superheroes with capes and everything. Now, perhaps the most frightening example I can give you is this rare footage of the secret leader of this order attacking our very own Emperor Palpatine in the very halls of the former Imperial Senate. Now, if you'll do me a favor and pause right there, aha! Look very closely at this Jedi monster who's going after our glorious leader. Do you notice anything? Floppy ears, cute giant eyes, green skin, and a very tiny, almost puppet-like physicality. Doesn't it remind you of someone? That's right. This being is an ancestor of the supposedly precious creature the internet has dubbed Baby Yoda. This alien, aside from its attempted regicide, is known for being the apex predator of the hostile swamp planet, has the ability to take ghost form, and has even taught its wicked powers to impressionable children. Luckily, it no longer lives to threaten you or your loved ones anymore. But wouldn't you be so terrified if another one were to come into existence in the galaxy? Well, I don't mean to scare you folks, but this Baby Yoda is showing signs that it could be 300,000 times more frightening. So what exactly are the crimes that this little monster has committed that has made us so terrified of him? Well, Disney Plus might want to convince you that his actions are cute moments of comic relief. I'm here to tell you that they are the works of a creature destined to bring nothing but pain to the universe. The first sign of Baby Yoda's terrifying powers came when his guardian Din Djarin was fighting an innocent mudhorn. While the creature was in the process of rightfully taking down the Mandalorian, who was attacking it, the child was able to lift the creature into the air using only its mind. Now, our estimates on the mudhorn conclude that it weighs at least 1,000 pounds. Could you imagine what Baby Yoda could lift if it really put its mind into it as an adult? The baby then spent most of the next year manipulating practically every sentient being into loving it. Seriously, have you ever found it odd that nearly every person who comes across Baby Yoda instantly wants to take care of it? Din Djarin is a heartless bounty hunter who seemingly cares for nothing, but suddenly has dropped everything for this child. Its powers of hypnotic persuasion must be incredible to pull off such a feat. Other cute creatures such as R2-D2 and BB-8 don't get nearly that much attention, despite the fact that they are both just as charming. If someone does something Baby Yoda disapproves of though, it is not afraid to attack. Just ask Cara Dune, who was choked while competing in a simple arm wrestling game. No, I think there are dark workings going on in that seemingly empty mind. Perhaps the greatest quality that speaks to Baby Yoda's monstrous state is its seemingly insatiable hunger. In practically every location Baby Yoda and Din Djarin goes to, the child seems to only be concerned with whether or not it gets to eat. It is obsessed with soup, chowder featuring small face-hugger monsters, or any sort of creepy crawly creature it thinks looks tasty. No matter how much it consumes, none of this seems to be enough to satiate its dark cravings. For such a small creature, it appears to have a hunger that is like a limitless void, desperate to devour anything in its path. Even when Baby Yoda was left at a school, where it was likely taught all sorts of rebel nonsense like hope and freedom, his hunger still wouldn't be abated. It sat next to a child enjoying an innocent snack, likely delicious blue milk cookies, and asked to be fed. The kid valiantly tried to keep its snack away, showing an unprecedented level of resistance to Baby Yoda's hypnotic cuteness, but that wasn't enough. No, the child used its evil powers to steal the cookies from its classmate with absolutely no repercussions. The greatest criminal act Baby Yoda's hunger led to was to consume the innocent child of an endangered species. That's right. A young mother in the care of Din Djarin brought her eggs to the Razor Crest, only for Baby Yoda to consume them whole. What could possibly be more evil than that? I mean, sure, yeah, the only reason that the mother species was endangered was because the Empire obliterated her ecosystem to fill Emperor Palpatine's prized aquarium. It should be clear to you now that Baby Yoda will choke, hypnotize, immobilize, and steal and consume everything in its path until it gets what it wants. If you think you're safe from the galaxy far, far away, just look at this SpaceX footage from their recent launch. Who is that floating around with some of Earth's finest astronauts? Baby Yoda. No one's safe. So how can we possibly save ourselves from this terrifying Baby Yoda threat? Is there any hope? Well, luckily for you, there's a new hero out there who knows exactly what to do with Baby Yoda. No, I'm not talking about that dumb Mandalorian Din Djarin. I'm talking about the last hero of the old Empire, Moff Gideon. Don't believe me that Moff Gideon is the hero of The Mandalorian instead of Din Djarin? Okay, let's chart this out here. Between Moff Gideon and Din Djarin, which one is actually trying to bring peace and order to the galaxy? And which one is a mercenary who seems to care only for himself and a payday? That's a point for Moff Gideon, check. Of the two of them, which one actively employs soldiers, scientists, and factory workers? And which one hangs out with ruthless criminals and smugglers? That's a big point for Moff Gideon. Finally, which one of them wears an awesome cape like a superhero? And which one wears a freaky mask that he never takes off like he's Michael Myers? So I'm pretty sure that I definitely just proved that Gideon is the protagonist of The Mandalorian. I mean, he's the owner of the Darksaber, the weapon of the Mandalore, which technically makes him the Mandalorian. That's the frickin' titular character. I rest my case. So what exactly is our noble hero planning to do once he gets a hold of Baby Yoda? Well, he's the kind of guy who likes to keep his cards pretty close to his chest, but I think I have an idea. You see, Baby Yoda's blood has a ton of midichlorians in them, which is kind of like having an O-negative blood type, but a lot better. It might be hard to believe, but this blood could possibly help us revive our noble emperor after the evil Jedi obliterated him. Luckily, our brilliant leader is well versed in the many abilities some would consider unnatural. If our great Imperial scientists could get as much as Baby Yoda's blood as possible, like all of it, they would likely be able to create various clones of the Emperor. Well, one clone that would act as a deformed supreme leader for a little while, and one who could be a creepy old blind man strapped into a machine until a descendant arrives he can drain. I know that sounds super complicated, but right now we're taking orders from a messenger droid with the Emperor's face, so trust me, it's a big improvement. So what could you, a loyal citizen of the Empire, do to help the noble Moff Gideon resurrect Emperor Palpatine? Well, for starters, if you see this ship called the Razor Crest, be sure to call this number 555 Gideon Rules and let us know where and when you saw the vessel. If you're a mechanic and called upon to repair the craft, please put a tracker and then execute its frequency 66. You will then be rewarded in the New Order, presuming the Empire doesn't destroy your planet to send a dramatic message to the New Republic. I mean, it happens, If you do come in contact with Baby Yoda, the Empire suggests the following safety tips to ensure that you and your family are kept safe from the tiny little gremlin of evil. 1. Do not look into its eyes. It will likely draw you in with its cuteness, where it will hypnotize you to do its evil bidding. 2. Do not feed it. It will likely then steal all of your food and then absorb your life energy like a tiny green vampire. 3. Do try to capture it. Sure, some people will tell you that literally everyone who has ever tried to take Baby Yoda from Din Djarin has ended up as a smoldering corpse, but you might get lucky. Though, real talk, you definitely won't make it. You will be a smoldering corpse. Good luck! Alright, so hopefully you are now fully aware of the imperially approved opinion that Baby Yoda is actually the worst monster in the universe. If you want to see more of the Empire's greatest video content, let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to CBR.